Hello friends, how are you all? My name is Harshit Dwivedi and I welcome you back to my video. In this video, I will be discussing with you friends the non-cooperation movement of 1920 and the subsequent Chauri Chaura incident of 1922 when this non-cooperation movement was suspended by Mahatma Gandhi. Before this, I have also uploaded a video on Khilafat agitation. So before watching this video, please go and watch the Khilafat agitation video and then only come back and watch these non-cooperation videos. If you are going to watch these two videos one after the another, then the whole scenario will be much more clear to you. Also, I have uploaded this video in Hindi also. So if you are not comfortable in English, you can watch the video, the Hindi version of this video. And all these, both of these two movements were commissioned under the leadership of Gandhiji. So this is presented by me, Harshit Dwivedi, friends. Moving forward, you know first of all we need to search and think that what were the reasons for the initiation of this non-cooperation movement. The initiation of this non-cooperation movement was not an instant process. A lot of things were happening in the background. Those were the reasons that why this non-cooperation movement was initiated. The very first thing was the Roulette Satyagraha, friends. I have already told you about the Defense of India Act 1915. A video has already been made by me on the Defense of India Act 1915, and Roulette Act of 1919 was an extension of this Defense of India Act 1915. And against this Roulette Act, Mahatma Gandhi initiated Roulette Satyagraha. Okay. Now, one part of that roller satyagraha was going on in Punjab, and in Punjab, this roller satyagraha was very much active. And what happened? The two leaders of Punjab, Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Saifuddin Khichdi, were arrested, and they were secretly deported to Dharamshala. So the people of Punjab were very much angry, and they were protesting against these arrests. And on the day of Baisakhi on 13th of April, 1919, they all gathered at the Jallianwala Bagh, which was the public garden at that point of time in Amritsar. Around 20 to 25,000 people, gathered there, and they were condemning the arrest, and that was the Baisakhi Day also. So that is why there was a big, gathering over there, and obviously the people were also not aware of the ban on meetings, which was put forward by the regional diet. So this event took place. I've made a separate video on the Jallianwala Bagh tragedy. Please go and watch that video. Then also came the Khilafat movement. The Khilafat movement was very much responsible for this non-cooperation movement also, because it gave Gandhiji an opportunity to consolidate the Khilafat and the non-cooperation movement and put forward a consolidated resistance against the British Empire. Also, the home rule movement was also one big thing. That is in different parts of India, it was distributed between Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Annie Besant. Detailed video on home rule movement have already been made by me. Please go and watch it. And World War One was also one movement, because during World War One, Gandhiji and all the other Indians supported the Britishers in with an expectation that after the World War One finishes, some concessions will be given by British administration to the Indians. However, through the Government of India Act 1919, or famously known as Montagu Chelmsford Reforms 1990, no effective thing was given to Indians. So this was also one reason. That is why non-cooperation movement came. Now let's start with the non-cooperation movement. It was formally announced and started on 1st of August 1920. This was basically a very fateful day, a bereaved day, because in the morning of that day, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he expired. He was no more with us. So obviously Gandhiji and a crowd of 2 lakh people paid their respect to the maker of modern India. And slowly the movement gained momentum. This non-cooperation movement, strikes and processions were taken out all over India. And on 4th of September 1920, a special session of the Indian National Congress met at Calcutta, which was presided over by Lala Rajpat Rai. And at this very session, Gandhiji made a declaration that if this non-cooperation movement is carried on successfully for 1 year, we will have Swaraj in 1 year. But immediately this announcement of Gandhiji was countered by many leaders, and they said that obtaining Swaraj in a time period of 1 year is not at all possible. Now then, the special after this special session of Calcutta, one session took place in Nagpur in December 1920. Some important announcements were made in this Nagpur session of 1920. First thing which was said, that attainment of Swaraj by legitimate and peaceful means instead of constitutional and legal means. Now, what does this mean, friends? Constitutional and legal means were the means that were deployed by the moderates, which included prayer, protest, petition. And obviously these ways have been deployed by the moderates from lot of years, some 10, 20 years, since the formation of Congress in 1885, these were the ways that were being deployed, and now it was very much clear to the people that these ways are not going to bear any fruit. So it said that instead of constitutional and legal means, legitimate and peaceful moves will be deployed. Now this created some confusion. People and the leaders of Congress, many leaders of Congress, they were not clear about what this legitimate and peaceful means. And when some this thing was not clear to them, leaders like Muhammad Ali Jinnah left the Indian National Congress, because they were now not very much clear about the objectives of Congress, because instead of constitutional and legal means, now the text says legitimate and peaceful means. Now the leaving of Muhammad Ali Jinnah of the Indian National Congress is a very big event, because this Muhammad Ali Jinnah is now going to join the Muslim League and play a big role in the partition of the country. Okay, then membership fees of the Congress was kept at 4 anna only, so that more and more peer people could join the Congress. Then a hierarchy of village, taluka and district level committees was created, okay, so that Congress can reach to the different parts of rural India, ग्रामीण भारत में पहुंच सके वो. Also, this is the very important point, the last point, friends, that provincial Congress committees were set up on linguistic basis. Why they were set up on linguistic basis? So that they can reach the rural masses, okay, which speak vernacular language. Suppose people speaking Oriya, Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, okay, Manipuri. So these type of people can also associate themselves with the Indian national movement, and therefore for increasing the penetration of Congress to the grassroots levels of India, provincial Congress committees were formed in December 1920 session of Nagpur, okay, saying that linguistic basis Congress committees will be formed, so that Congress penetration in whole of India can be increased. Also, it was said that movement will be a peaceful and non-violent protest against the British government. It will be a peaceful protest. It will be a non-violent protest. Okay. Also, Indians were asked to relinquish their titles. That is, those Indians who are having some titles like Raja, Nawab, Sultan, they will relinquish their title. Also, those people who have been nominated to the local bodies, they will resign from their post as a mark of protest. People were said that those persons who were having government jobs, they were said to resign from their jobs. Okay, people were asked to remove their children from the government control or government aided schools and colleges. People were asked to boycott foreign goods and use only Indian made goods, something like Swadeshi. And the people were also asked to boycott the election to the legislative council. So these things, these demands were put forward in the people, and the people were following them also. On a pan India basis, the people were following. People were leaving their government jobs, friends. Okay, these things, it was people were leaving their titles, people were leaving their privileges. These type of things were happening. Also, a demand, or you can say, you know a thing was said to the people of India that don't serve in the British army. You very well know that more than 50%, more than 60% of the British army was comprised of Indians only. Most of the army was of Indian only. So the people were asked that don't serve in the British army, because if you are not going to serve in the British army, how will the army work? Because most of them were Indians only, and they were well paid. Okay, now it was said that despite if these steps are not going to bring any outcome, then the people will also refuse to pay their taxes. And tax is one of the most important instruments of running a nation or any administration, friends, because for doing anything you need money, and until you are having some amount of money, you will not be able to do that thing. Okay. Also, Indian National Congress demanded Swaraj or self government. And only completely non-violent means will be employed to get the demands full. I already told you that the constitutional and legal struggle was replaced by legitimate and peaceful means. That means legitimate methods will be deployed, but those methods will be completely non-violent. Okay, they will be peaceful. That was for sure. Okay, now this non-cooperative movement, this was a decisive step in independence, because the first time the INC was ready to forego constitutional means. That is, from the formation since 1885 December, the Indian National Congress was only running on the concepts of prayer, petition, protest, the constitutional means of struggle. Now, for the first time, this in the non-cooperation movement, this constitutional struggle was set aside, and peaceful and legitimate process was deployed. Okay. And Gandhiji said that if all these principles are followed, we are going to achieve our goals of Swaraj in 1 year. But that was not possible, and it didn't happen. Also, people were asked to boycott universities and schools. So if they are going to boycott universities and schools, then where will they study? Because education is important for the enlightenment of people. So universities like Bharati Vidyapeeth and Jamia Millia Islamia came into existence. And the elite sections of India, the educated section of India, volunteered to teach there free of cost, so those people can get educated. Also, the shops which are selling the not Indian cloth, they were selling foreign clothes, they were picketed. What does this picketed means, friend? You need to understand. Picketing means that a group of people are standing outside a shop, okay, and they are protesting the selling of foreign clothes in that shop. And obviously, if anyone is coming to purchase something in that shop, then they are requesting the persons coming to purchase in the shop that don't buy this thing from the shop, this contains foreign clothes, please buy indigenous clothes. So they were doing everything by non-violence, by peaceful method, no force. Full thing was done. So picketing was this thing. Khadi and charkha, it was the symbol of Gandhiji's struggle of national movement. In Bengal, Someshwar Prasad Chaudhary, it led the peasants to launch an anti-indigo cultivation movement. That is, you don't need to grow indigo, grow whatever you feel is correct. The Tana Bhakt sect of Bihar boycotted the use of liquor. Also, the Akali movement of Punjab, in which the people tried to reform the Gurudwaras by eliminating the corrupt priest. So on 13th of December 1920, the formation of Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee was there, and Akali Dal was formed. The objective of this thing was to secure the Sikh Gurudwaras from the corrupt priest. They were doing corrupt practices there, so this was also a part of the non-cooperation movement. This I will be covering in a separate video. This the Sikh Gurudwara issue. Then this thing came, friends. This is very important. Volunteer corps. What is this volunteer corps, friends? This is a parallel unofficial police force. Now understand, friends, law and order is one of the most important organs of a nation state, and if an unofficial police force will be formed, obviously the administration is not going to like it. And at this point of time, Britishers came against this non-cooperation movement very heavily. Suppression was huge. Okay, now, the success of this non-cooperation movement was complete shock to the British authorities. British authorities, not in one instance, thought that this can grow this much massive. Millions of Indians participated all over the country, and the unity was there. Indian schools and colleges were boycotted. Okay, and Indian schools and colleges came up. Indian goods were encouraged. Foreign universities, foreign schools, the schools under the control of British, they were boycotted. But one thing, really different happened. One thing bad happened, that on 5th of February 1922, a clash took place in Chauri Chaura, which is a town in the district of Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh. What happened? That some volunteers were picketing outside a liquor shop. Now I will tell you what picketing was. They were standing outside the liquor shop, and they were requesting the people not to purchase the liquor. So a police officer came and attacked those people who were picketing there. So, in response to that, a whole crowd of peasants went to their police chowki. They locked the door. They set the police chowki to fire, and obviously, all the 22 policemen inside the chowki were burnt alive to death. All of them were dead. Now, this thing disturbed Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was very much clear on one fact, that movement should at any cost be non-violent. There should be no violence. And he felt that now, as the revolt has been on for around 1.5 to 2 years, this revolt is going off course. He thought that now the revolt is going off course, so he was disappointed, and he said that the non-violent nature of the revolt should be there. So basically, he thought that if this thing is allowed to continue, then what will happen, that on one side the police will be there, on the other side angry mobs will be there, they will be clashing with each other, and civilians will be caught in between and they will suffer. So Gandhiji decided to suspend the non-cooperation movement, and this declaration of suspension of the non-cooperation movement was not liked by leaders all over the country, including Subhash Chandra Bose. Even supporters like Motilal Nehru and Chittaranjan Das were also against the suspension of the movement, just because of some sporadic incidents of violence has taken place. But Gandhiji was steadfast on his decision and said that I, at any cost, am not going to support non-violence, and I'm going to suspend this movement. And this non-cooperation movement was suspended by Gandhiji. Now we need to know that what was the outcome of this non-cooperation movement. Gandhiji first of all said that in 1 year we will get Swaraj, but that didn't happen. But this non-cooperation movement was a mass movement, friends. Lakhs of India, all over India, participated. This was an open protest against the government, and The British government was completely shocked to see the massiveness of the movement. Hindu and Muslim unity was there. Communal harmony was there. However, it was short-lived because as soon as the movement will be suspended, after some time, Gandhiji will be arrested, and the whole country will come in the grip of communal tensions. After that, people now started becoming conscious of their political rights. People started knowing that what are our rights and we want to get that rights. They were not afraid of the government. Hordes of people, they were willing to go to the jail. Going to jail became a fashion. Indian merchants and millionaires, local businesses thrived. Why thrived? Because foreign goods were boycotted. And if the foreign goods are boycotted, obviously Indian goods will be purchased. So obviously, if Indian goods will be purchased, Indian merchants and millionaires are going to benefit. Khadi was also promoted. Also, the import of sugar from Britain was reduced considerably. And one thing, such a level of mass movement, it was under the leadership of Gandhi, and as soon as Gandhiji suspended the movement stopped. You can understand, friends, that doing this type of movement, it was not up to the capability of any other leaders. Only a person as huge as Gandhiji could commission a movement like this. So Gandhiji became the undisputable leader of the masses, and almost all the leaders of the Congress were looking up to Gandhiji for any further movements or advice, and many leaders were so much willing to follow Gandhiji, that as soon as Gandhiji announced that I am suspending the non-cooperation movement, they agreed to it. However, there was a revulsion against Gandhiji all over the country, that why he has suspended this non-cooperation movement, but soon everybody accepted it and Gandhiji became the undisputable leader of the masses. Hindu-Muslim unity was achieved, but it was short-lived, and after some time communal tensions were there. So this is everything about the non-cooperation movement, friends. The Khilafat movement I have separately. So by watching both of these two videos, you will going to understand what exactly happened at that time to time. In February 1922, this movement stopped, but it had wide massive influence on the Britishers, and everybody got to know that such type of movements would be impending in the future, and Gandhiji is going to lead them. So this was non-cooperation movement, friends. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was helpful, please subscribe to this channel, friends. It will be a big encouragement for me. Have a good day, friends. Goodbye.